All right, you guys, we are back again early Saturday morning here in Atlanta, Georgia. Donnie Samir search for Huru. Let's get some more people in the chat room first. You guys, we are echo. Yeah, I don't want that. So, people, thank you for coming on early this morning, early Saturday. I know you guys could be sleeping in, but decided to get up early and connect with the brother Emeka again. Emeka, how you doing? Well, it's noon where you're at, afternoon, right?
Yeah, it's about 1 here in Ghana, no Australia. And yeah,
What time is it out there?
14 o'clock.
Okay, 14. Okay. All right. So today we're gonna be talking about what the Niger Delta independence movement, what they can learn from Catalonia. So vaguely, just to give you guys a rundown, what's been going on in Spain, Catalonia decided, and I think Catalonia is like one of the more wealthier either states or provinces in Spain, correct? The richest, kind of like Niger Delta, and they are going on Tuesday are going to declare their independence from Spain. Now they were hit with a little resistance from Spain, but they have their own government, their own somewhat military, and then the people came together and said, "Look, we want to be separate from Spain." Now, what's the reason why? I haven't really got into that, but why does Catalonia want to? Why do they want to gain independence from Spain?
Okay, let me just break it down. Catalonia makes up about 15% of the Spanish population, and they contribute about 21% GDP, Spanish GDP. Spain has a GDP of 1.2 trillion dollars. No, euro. Spain has a GDP of 1.2 trillion euro, and Catalonia produces 20% of that. So for the size of the population, they are very productive. So 1/5 of the Spanish income is coming from Catalonia alone. Catalonia is as well the second largest FDI attractor, if you can say it like that. FDI meaning foreign direct investments. Catalonia gets 14% of the total Spanish amount of foreign direct.
Emeka, people in the chat are saying that the sound on your end is bad. Do you have a optional mic on your laptop or like an optional sound source? Yeah, everybody's saying it's bad. I sent the message out in the chat room because I wanted to make sure this wasn't my computer.
Okay. Let me try this again.
It's real staticky. It's not clear.
Is it better now?
Nah, not really.
Not really.
Yeah, it's real. Like I said, it's just staticky. Like it's.
Okay. Well, this is the same way I made the last.
Really? I mean, yeah, because it's not. It's People in the chat, is it still kind of off on his end? People in the chat, someone can answer me. Press 1 if the sound is good. Press 2 if the sound isn't.
I hope it's good now. I don't know.
Yeah, it's still like real. It's still okay. Yeah, they said it's still off. Yeah, because like I said, when me and you were talking, it was very like it just wasn't clear. I just want to make sure it wasn't my laptop or my computer.
Okay.
Maybe okay. So when you go to Google Hangouts, I mean, when you're on the screen, on the top there's like a row of options. It says invite people. It has mute microphone, turn camera off, adjust bandwidth usage. Press the icon that says settings, And then on microphone, which microphone do you have it on now?
It's my laptop.
Does it say default microphone or built-in microphone on your microphone settings?
Well, I don't really have a.
Well, like I said, when you scroll on the top, you'll see a row.
Can you hear me now?
Huh?
Can you hear me now?
Oh, that's better. Keep talking. Keep talking.
Is it better like this? Like I said something.
Yeah, it's better. It's a whole lot better. Go ahead. Okay, it's a whole lot better. So people in the chat is this just keep talking.
Okay
People in the chat.
I hope it's okay like this now because I changed some settings. Like
it's better. It's better. We're good to go. We're good to go. Oh. So one more time, if you can explain the Catalonia referendum.
Oh, okay, let me explain the entire reason. And as I said, Catalonia, 15% of the Spanish population, making up to 21% of the GDP. Spain has a GDP of 1.2 trillion euros. Catalonia making up to 20%, more than 20%. That's a fifth of the Spanish GDP is being produced in Catalonia. It's the second largest FDI attractor, as in they attract foreign direct investments in the whole Spain. That's the largest amount of foreign direct investments after Madrid, the capital of Spain. They have a good economy. They have an unemployment rate of 13%. Nation has, the rest of Spain has an unemployment rate of 17%. So Catalonia has about 4 or 5. No, they have 12%. I think I'm not sure, but I think it's 4 or 5% employment. Catalonia is known for its chemical industry. And of chemicals in Spain, they have a large chemical industry. They have a large retail industry. They have a large tourism and manufacturing. They have many German and other car producers and manufacturers having plants in Catalonia. Very well educated and well organized region. The inhabitants are definitely better off than the rest of Spain. And you can understand Catalonia as well pays up to 14 and 20 billion euros in tax to Spain, more than they get back. So there would be at least about 14 to 20 billion euros richer instantly once they leave the Spanish nation and break out and have their own independent sovereign nation. And it's all about economics. They want to feed themselves. They will be better off on their own. And they have been expressing this for a long time. The European financial crisis, in which the economy, the downturn of the economy affected the Spanish nation and its social system, whereas they had a lot of social cuts. And of course, many Catalans were like, for this, and if Spain can't afford this, why should we suffer with Spain? So it's better we feed ourselves and let Spain take care of themselves. Not only that, Catalans have a different language.
Really?
They speak Catalan. They speak Catalan. They don't speak Spanish. Catalan and Spanish are two different languages. Franco fascist regime that lasted from the 1930s to 1975. Catalans weren't allowed to speak Catalan. They had to speak Spanish. They had to hide their language in public. When they were speaking, they would be warned or would be questioned by police for speaking a non-Spanish language, their Catalan language. And these are things they still remember in their society that really affected them, and they felt being seriously marginalized by the majority of by this Castilian Spanish majority in Spain, yearning for a separate nation for a long time already. So that's the basic fact about Catalonia. Is richer than Greece and Portugal, which are sovereign nations.
Catalonia, well, those nations, Portugal and Greece, they both went bankrupt, didn't they?
Excuse me?
Portugal and Greece, didn't they? They both went bankrupt, right?
Yeah, Greece had problems, and they had to be bailed out. And Portugal also had problems, but yet they're for who can know. And a region that like Catalan, which is not yet on its own, and those already established nations. So it's quite impressive to say that Catalan, the Republic of Catalonia, would midfield of the EU GDP nations at the bottom, but they would be right in the midfield, right? I thought it would make a good nation, you know.
Now, as far as so Niger Delta, they decide to declare independence from Nigeria. What is in place? Because I noticed in Spain, when Catalonia declared their independence or were in process of, they were met with some resistance. You had Spanish, I guess, I don't know, military police trying to quell down the uprising. But it seems like they weren't as violent. It wasn't that bad, in my honest opinion, as far as the resistance they met. I mean, you know, they
it was bad for European standards. It was bad for European standards. 900 people were hospitalized, down. Children were beaten down.
Right.
Civilians were beaten. So there was a lot of blood as well, but no one died. But 900 people were hospitalized on a day in which a determined people wanted to make their will known to the world. So I think the Spanish reaction was hasty, over-hardened, and it was bad for EU standards.
Okay. Because I think the Spanish king is saying that what they're doing is illegal. And when a person in power like that comes out and says what they're doing illegal, I'm under the impression, just from American standards or even African standards, that when they quell that or try to take down an uprising, there's going to be death, murder, or whatnot. Do you think that if the Niger Delta declares independence from Nigeria, that the resistance will be as, I would say, light as it was, or would it be similar to what you consider the EU standard?
No way. Just forget about it. We have been suffering in our region. I can say that occupation forces with their oppressive army have been terrorizing the region for decades now. Mm-hmm. Popular people have died. Popular people like Kansaro Weaver, great men of the region, have died in the process of emancipation and being vocal. The international law the Nigerian state is breaking, because law for indigenous people, all indigenous people are entitled to political, cultural, and economic self-determination. So what the Nigerian state is doing in essence is that they're breaking the law, because we have never profited from our resources. From River State. I am an Ihruoha man from River State, also known as Ihruoha. My state produces billions of dollars. My state is the largest breadwinner in the entire Nigerian, and what we got in the last budget was 7 billion naira. That's nothing. And then states like Kano State, where the people have produced an army of beggars and illiterates, 32 billion naira. You know, so you see being robbed and the wealth sent to unproductive people, people that do not provide anything to the livelihood of the Nigerian state and do not bring anything whatsoever to the table. The frustrating situation in which one person will be in a flat with 10 flatmates, and only that one person is the only one going out to work, providing food on the table, and even being maltreated for the little food he provides. It's ridiculous, and definitely self-determination is absolutely a must. Indigenization of our resources is a must. The disintegration and the dismantlement of the Nigerian is a must as well, because we have had enough. The injustice is just too biting, too grave, too enormous in our region.
Okay, people in the chat room. Well, there's an echo. People in the chat room, I know you're asking questions about Biafra, but we're focusing on Niger Delta this morning. So if you have any questions in regards to Niger Delta and their independence, by all means ask, but we're not going to speak on Biafra today. So I just wanted to put that out there. So so the only other countries I could think of in regards to what they consider modern day Africa that kind of split from a country, I could just think of South Sudan. But if you look at South Sudan, you know, even though they split from the Sudan, they're not stable at all. Do you think that the Niger Delta, if they separate from Nigeria, that they will have some type of stability? Because from my understanding, all the oil resources are in South Sudan. Am I correct? Do you know? Or
yep.
Right. You know, so do you think they will have a similar issue?
Yeah, we thank God. We thank God, really, like Jesus. It's a good example. It's a good example because we learned. We learned from the South Sudan.
Okay. What did you guys learn?
You have to treat things. You must really be deeply involved in what I say, studying the field, the material. Mm-hmm. You can't just say we want a Niger Delta Republic and that's done. The solution for our independence and republic would be a confederation in which a form of union of federations, like it's done in Bosnia. For example, Bosnia, there was Yugoslavia, or there was this agreement reached in Bosnia because Bosnia broke out of Yugoslavia and they had a problem with ethnic nations and even religions in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that in Bosnia-Herzegovina, they had this solution. There's a Republika Srpska, a Republic of Serbians, Orthodox Christians, and there is the Federation of Bosniaks and Croats, which is 51% of the landmass, and the Republika Srpska is 49% of the landmass. Then they have the district of Brčko, 5%, or something like that. So this was created out of 50% of both federations within the Bosnian Confederation as a neutral zone. So before you do this, you have to speak with all ethnic nations, and you have to guarantee them are not going to come to pass. Fear of being dominated by a central government and by major ethnic nation, which in the next letter the Republic would say that there would be no central government, but strong regional federations. So you would take away the power from the center. There would be only a ceremonial federal government with no power, just like in Belgium. There's no, like for example, Belgium has two federations within a confederation. One, the Federation of Wallonie, Federation of Flanders, and then there's a third Federation of Brussels. Flanders is Dutch speaking, and Wallonie is French speaking. It has a Ministry of Education, Economy, stuff like that. And Wallonie has as well a Ministry of Education, Economy, and stuff like that. So there are no national ministries, only the most vital ones like defense or something like that. But really, really very decentralized nation national system. And that's what we are going for. We're going to have a union of the willing ethnic nations in the south geopolitical zone, oil producing nations that would live together in a union, like which is as well a union of Arab Emirates, and we would have a union of Niger that are ethnic nationalities. That's the plan. So in the case of Sudan, South Sudan, I would say it was not properly thought through. I think every ethnic nation should have its own parliament, prime minister, and pay little tax, like 10 or 20% to the central government, and the rest is your bill. You create your taxation, education, and everything. When you do stuff like that, nobody has reason to be jealous, you know. So like not unlike in Nigeria, where I produce all the money. I have oil in my farmland. Oil in my farmland in River State is feeding people in the north, and yeah, it's just a system that creates tension. And we're going to providing a confederate system in which every single ethnic nation has its own parliament and prime minister, education, and police force. Policing is as well very important because that's I think where you get more of the controversial issues, because being policed by strangers, nobody really likes that. So it's better you police yourself and your own people to avoid a form of tribalism and like blame game and stuff like that. So it's better I police my people. I know where my people live. I know how to behave. I know their mentality. I know how to deal with them. From thousands of kilometers away and police me. I don't know you, and you can commit a crime as a policeman, and in Nigeria and you vanish. I don't even know where I'll find you. If you're from Sokoto or Taraba, these are places I will never go to the south to police me, and you can commit a crime. I will never know where you are. But if I know you're from my ethnic nation, if I know you're from River State, I know where to get you, I know where to find you. We know how to bring justice to daylight, you know. So these are things that are very, very controversial and create potential tension for the future. Things the colonizers did, and thank Jesus we have this example of South Sudan, because they didn't do their homework well, I would say. And yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. Who are some of the, when you talk about the Niger Delta independence movement, like who's going to be your guys' leader or president? Or king? You guys have a king, don't you?
We have, in my place, we have kings. In River State, we have different kings. In my own ethnic nation, the Ihruoha Ikwere ethnic nation, we have kings. But our struggle is not centralized like that. We are not.
So it's gonna be decentralized. The Niger Delta movement.
No, it's gonna. At the moment, our struggle is not centralized.
Okay.
For example, the Biafrans have one leadership. Okay, it's not one leadership because there are different groups like IPOB, the Biafran Zionist movement, stuff like that. But we don't have like one organization or one leadership or one directorate. We have different groups that are in communication, and as time comes, there will be harmonization and unification. But at the moment, our own orientation is that everyone should be a leader, and everyone should work on his own and try to contribute to the actualization of the Niger Delta Republic.
Okay, let's see here. We got some more questions in the chat too. Now, is the Niger Delta, I might have asked this already, please forgive me. Is the Niger Delta predominantly Muslim? Or I know you're Christian, but is it predominantly Muslim, the Niger Delta?
I would say it's 99% Christian.
Oh, it's predominantly Christian, okay. So is Niger Delta, is that in northern Nigeria or southern Nigeria?
That's in the south of Nigeria.
Oh, it's in south Nigeria? South?
We are the Atlantic.
Okay. Okay, because I mean, somebody in the chat room said Nigeria is basically the north oppressing the south. That's why 90% of Nigerians you see outside come from the south. Is that true?
100% correct.
100% correct. Okay, yeah. So they're on point in the chat room. What's up, Tech Nubian? I see you. Chanel Chateau asks, why is the wealth going to the north?
The wealth is going to the north because the British colonialists, as clever as they are, always know when to create tension and how to program people for further conflicts and issues in the future. In the case of Nigeria, they handed over power to the north. The north has been loyal to the British Empire. In 1957, Nigeria was asking for independence. The South wanted independence. The North didn't want independence. The North preferred staying under British rule, indirect rule, and the British people always loved their northern boys for that. That's why you see 1960, the British imperialists handed over to the north, and they had a fake census where they gave themselves a larger number, more inhabitants, which is total bullshit because there's no area in the Sahel zone and in the sub-Sahara zone where the more south will have less inhabitants than the more desert north. The British colonialists gave them this fake census to give them an edge, and as well to give them an advantage. And they created more states for themselves later on. The British supported the Muslim caliphates with the weapons and materials anytime wanted to rise up. And it's a deal, you know. The guards the British interests in Nigeria, in the Niger Delta, and they have a good deal with them. The British Empire makes about, let me say, $50 billion every year from the Niger Delta, and this is been by the Northern oligarchy. Military establishment is as a gatekeeper and watchdogs for their white masters who pump in almost an unlimited amount of wealth yearly from our region, and that's why you see the North and the British people are always in an alliance to suppress the South that is more educated and would never agree to some terms which the foreign IOCs, the international oil companies, operate in our region. Nigeria exports crude oil instead of fuel, making smart deals with the imperialists, and definitely if the Niger Delta independence, we're going to work on stuff like exporting fuel and other petrochemical products, and as well even export a filling station brand, stuff like that. Nigeria has none of this. Nigeria is supposed to have filling station brands all over the world. The let me say the inability of the northern establishments to reason and to function as a smart leadership and model to really make deals that will profit the entire nation. They have decided to of the lands that don't belong to them, because actually these IOCs buy the land, pay for the lands, and due to the Nigerian Land Use Act. For example, I have oil on my farmland. On my farmland, I have no right to say anything. The Nigerian state says wherever they find oil, like on my farmland, it belongs to them, and they're going to decide on what is going to happen. With that, I have no right to do anything there. But strangers from all over the world can come and tap oil in my backyard. So the British will work with the northern establishment, and as well, last time Prince Charles and Tony Blair came to Nigeria, they're Christians, and they didn't come to the south, which is a Christian region, but they visited the north, which are their allies. So it's not even about religion with these white people. It's all about cash money, you know. That's the reality we're facing, you know.
Okay, let's see here. Emeka Christian, you think that the Yoruba and Igbo people can work together as one nation, or it's better to let them have their own countries?
Never. Just forget about it. Mm-hmm. It's a total waste of time, energy. Oh, never. Don't even think about it. Everybody should have, if possible, for each geopolitical zone in Nigeria, referendum on remaining in Nigeria or splitting out. You know? Forget about the Yoruba-Igbo connection, because there's happened in the past, which both sides are not going to take lightly. You know? So it will be a waste of time. I think the problem in Africa is that we have too much of. We should have more homogeneous nations. Okay, even if we can't have 100% homogeneous nations, let us try to have nations that are more homogeneous.
Okay, let's see here. So let's get back on Catalonia. When Catalonia becomes its own independent nation, how would that affect Spain?
It's going to affect Spain because they're going to lose billions in tax, which they need to prop up their social security system and their healthcare system.
Right.
Spain is going to fall from the number 4 in GDP in the EU to number 14. 10 places behind. From number 4 in GDP to number 14. it's gonna be bad for them. Definitely, it's gonna hit the pockets. More productive. It's in all ramifications. In all ramifications, Catalonians produce more than they would need for themselves. It's a very rich region, very rich nation, and Spain would lose 1/5 of its income. 1/5. Spain would lose half of its chemical industry. Spain will lose a lot of manufacturing. It's gonna mango. You know mango. This
the fruit
clothing store.
The fruit.
Fruit. There's a shop. I think they sell clothes for women.
Okay.
The retail. Oh, it's very popular in Europe, and I don't know if it's popular in America, but it's very popular actually all over the world, and it belongs to Catalonia. So it's definitely going to affect them. Yeah, that's why they're resistant like this, you know.
Okay. Now, does the EU, will the EU or the United Nations or whatever, will they recognize Catalonia?
The EU is trying to be careful. Project itself as a peace-loving and peacemaking institution since it was created after the Second World War to ensure that Germany and France won't fight anymore over resources and land, but would work hand in hand to grow an economy together. Started, and so the EU always wants to project itself as a peacemaking institution. So they want to protect the image in the public, but definitely they won't like to tell Catalonia outrightly, no, we don't care. Balance in they want to be more balanced in their diplomatic communications with both Barcelona, which Barcelona is the capital of Catalonia, and I would say.
Whoa. Oh, okay. So Barcelona will be the capital of Catalonia.
Yes, it is right now the capital of the Catalonian region.
Well, that's a big city. Like that's a major city.
It is damn big, very rich city. And with one of the, if not the most famous football club on earth.
Yeah, Barcelona, where the Olympics were a while back.
Not the Olympics. Barcelona used to win the Champions League, stuff like that. You know, they're major export.
No, well, the Olympics were in Barcelona like maybe 20 years ago.
I don't really know that.
Okay.
In Europe, I know you Americans are more from American football, but here we call it soccer, which sounds so gay. But yeah, it's not annoying. You guys always call it soccer, but it's called football actually. But yeah,
right.
Barcelona is a major team in European football. So definitely, yeah. So in the communication, the EU wants doesn't want actually regions to split, because in Europe we have a lot of regions, rich regions like Catalonia, who have also as well established a form of independence movement, even if it's not that great like the one in Catalonia in Spain, but definitely they exist in like Flanders in Belgium. They are Dutch-speaking people. They are far richer than the French-speaking Wallonis in Belgium. They are asking for independence as well, and as well as the regions like North Lombardy, which are far richer than the south of Italy. Places like Breton, northern France, Scotland, of course, always has been. As well, people in Northern Ireland, the Irish people in Northern Ireland, and as well, sometimes the Bavarians in Germany have been asking for some more autonomy. So The EU is afraid that this might open the box of Pandora, and more European regions would ask for independence, and Europe is trying to create United States of Europe under one government, and they won't really like to split further than the nation states they already have. They want to unify more and have one presidency, one government, one social security, one finance minister, one finance politics, healthcare system, stuff like that. They're trying to unify, harmonize things, which many people do not want, especially the more nationalist right-wing parties. But definitely the EU is trying to balance things, but I don't think anyone thinks that the EU is really happy with regions splitting up like that. But Catalonia has said, of course, Catalonia would definitely love to be in the EU, and I think they would make a good nation state in the EU because they are very rich and productive, and they bring something to the table, definitely.
Let me ask you, what role would the African Union play in possible Niger Delta independence?
The African Union is impotent.
Okay.
There's nothing Canada has ever done. It's an obsolete institution that has for me, has nothing ever done remarkable politics and international politics. Even, I mean, their headquarters was made by China and stuff like that. They're not really, it's an impotent institution. It's obsolete for me.
Okay, so that's they won't do anything or won't play a role at all.
They can make an impact in the women's life. So they can make an impact in the regional geopolitical realities we have in the Niger Delta and in other parts of Africa.
All right, and see, like you're even seeing Spanish in Madrid, the Spanish, they're apologizing for the violence against the people who want to succeed from Spain in Catalonia. Will Nigeria ever apologize, or have they ever apologized for what they've done to fellow Nigerians?
Nigeria, I repeat, the Nigerian occupation forces, these are occupation forces in the south. They are occupation forces. It's like when Hitler Germany was occupying Poland. That's the same thing that's happening. There's no difference. These are occupation forces that came to loot, steal, and kill. So there's nothing. There's no sympathy. You don't expect sympathy from an occupation force on its victims. I mean, I can't even expect sympathy from the occupation force because Nigeria is such a wicked nation and oppressive state. I don't expect Hitler to apologize to Jews, So the question is it sounds funny to me as Niger Delta. They have killed thousands of people in my region. They have killed notable freedom fighters from our region. I mean, Ken Saro-Wiwa was hanged. He was hanged with 9 compatriots from the Ogoni ethnic nationality, someone that fought against the exploitation of Shell and other IOCs, international oil companies in our region, the Niger Delta, and he was hanged even after so many people protested and spoke out against it. He was hanged by the Nigerian state, of course encouraged by the IOCs, by the international oil companies. So I don't expect someone that came to steal from me to have any form of sympathy for my life and for my livelihoods, my lands, my properties. I mean, the Nigerian state has never respected my identity, my territorial integrity, and my properties. They came and took whatever they want and told me to shut up or die. So, I mean.
Wow. Wow. You know, we always want to close on a positive note. So in closing, what positive can the Niger Delta independence movement learn from Catalonia?
We have to learn how to be serious, how to stick together. In Catalonia, 700 mayors came together. That is 100%. That's all the mayors in Catalonia came together and supported the referendum on independence. The Spanish state threatened them with imprisonment. Many people would have said, "Oh, this is hot. This is getting hot. You know what? I'm out." If the Spanish state would have noticed a crack within the unity of the Catalans, they would have exploited that gap. But because they couldn't crack up a gap within the unity and the strong bond between the Catalan people, its representatives, and so on, the Spanish government is being frustrated every day, as you can see. 700 mayors all stood with the referendum. 14 politicians were arrested. They stood by. No one backed down. FC Barcelona, the greatest team in Spain, in Catalonia, came out and supported its region and demanded that the people of Catalonia have the right to self-determination and to make their opinion vocal in public. And that's very great. From the top to the bottom, people stand together and say, no, we do not accept oppression anymore. Footballers like Piqué were vocal. Piqué, a superstar in Spain from Catalonia, from FC Barcelona, he was vocal. Shame on all people playing for the Nigerian football team. Shame on all of them from the regions that are being oppressed by the oppressive occupation forces, the Nigerian forces. They have never came out to stand their ground and to comment, use their fame and their voice to comment on what's going on. You have people from regions in which the citizens are being killed for voicing out their concerns and for demanding self-determination. You have people in the Nigerian football team playing today for Nigeria and they won't comment on it. This is shameful. What happiness do you have to play for the Nigerian football team when your people are being killed by fascist soldiers who see them as enemies in their life? I mean, what conscience do these people have? They have no conscience. Even I respect my black brothers in America. I respect you guys for one thing. At least you stood up for yourself, and you're getting more solidarized and strong. I like what Kaepernick did. Kaepernick started this, and now other African Americans are following it up. Young kids, different people, and to the level that even black police people took a knee. This is unity, you know. This is respect. I expect the same thing from all separatist regions in Nigeria. How can you? I expect you to at least leave the football field before the match starts, or at least to kneel down when they're playing the Nigerian anthem, or at least comment during an interview, something like that. But you being silent, you're a saboteur, you're a collaborator, you are working for the occupation forces, and you are happy in playing on the blood of your own people. Shame to them.
Okay. Do you ever think that any of the Niger Delta leaders will sell out? If that makes sense.
If they will sell out?
Yeah.
They have been selling out all the time.
Say that one more time.
They have been selling out. They have been selling out all the time.
Oh, okay.
They have been selling out all the time. The northern establishment eats the fatty part of the chicken, And what remains between the teeth, they throw it for Niger data leaders, and they're okay with that. So they have been selling that all the time. And we have to put more pressure on them because you can't sell out in Catalonia. You cannot afford to sell out in Catalonia because your people will declare you a persona non grata. So we have to put more pressure on our leaders, and I am definitely going to boycott Nigerian elections. I won't legitimize the oppressive occupation forces and its fraudulent electoral processes and exercises by validating them with my vote. I won't do that.
All right. Is there anything else in closing? I'll let you have the floor before we log off. And my bad, everybody in the chat room, thank you for coming on early this morning. I really appreciate it. Shima Madu, I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting us. Emeka, you have a final say. Go ahead.
Yeah. God bless Niger Delta Republic and God bless Black America.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Everybody, thank you for coming on. I will be back on later on today, hopefully. Make sure you go to Instagram, put in the tag, my handle, search for Ihruoha, all one word. Black Boy Rights, I appreciate that. Thank you, fam. Make sure you guys put in my tag name, search for Ihruoha, like the pics, follow me. Make sure you follow me and like and share the content that's on my other pages as well. That's Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook, also YouTube. If this is your first time watching the video, please share the video. Please share all the other videos as well. Go to dynastymir.com, go to searchforihruoha.com, and make sure you go to amazon.com and search your name, Dynasty Mir. Please buy a book. Thank you for your support. Emeka, where can they reach you at? If they have any questions or just want to talk to you or reach out to you?
On Facebook, Emeka Ihruoha. You got my name? You can...
Yeah, and then also I'll put his information in the description box as well. So once again, people, thank you for coming on early this morning. I appreciate it. Till next time, the Kapitan Don, Brother Emeka. Peace.
Peace, bro.